Hello everyone, this is Donald the Repentless with the third episode in my mini-series, A Former Member's Take on Community of Christ World Conference 2016. Okay, it's slightly different, but today I read President Veazey's sermon from Sunday night, and I want to do a more in-depth look at it later, well, now, as you may know, I'm an atheist now. And some of the things that Veazey said in his sermon kind of made me mad. I think he is totally, in his sermon, he totally misrepresents what secular humanism is about, and secularism in general. But like I said, I'm going to get into that more in the more in-depth search, in-depth analysis. But there's a thread throughout Veazey's sermon that especially troubled me. The ideal that you cannot be a community or be worried and concerned and want to change, do all the things that Community of Christ has as their goals, which are admirable goals, eliminating poverty and all that, unless you have this religion, church, God as a center of your universe, as a center of your life. You must have this God as your center of your life, around everything, around which everything revolves, and this organization of a church that you go to every week must be the central part of your life. I think that's ridiculous. I want to be unbiased, but when you basically have this guy, a paid person whose job it is to get people in the door and giving money, basically dismissing secular humanism because it doesn't put God at the center of the universe, or spirituality, that somehow a person who doesn't have put those things at the center of their lives cannot have a community. There is a secular human community. I think it was this weekend. They had the Reason Rally in Washington, D.C. I heard that only 2,000 people showed up. But there are this community within the secular humanist movement, within the atheist movement. Another convention that's come up is non-con. So to sit there and suggest that you're less committed to social justice. I'm not a social justice warrior, by the way. Not committed to equality of all people. Not committed to alleviating poverty and doing all these things. And you can't do those things if you're not religious. Is frankly a crock of shit. I apologize for the language, but it just bugs me that every time, it's not just Community of Christ that does this. It's a lot of groups and a lot of churches within the larger Christian community that all seem to have that kind of mentality when it comes to atheists. That if you don't believe in spirit, if you don't believe in soul, and you don't place that spirituality and that God and that organization and that church as the priority in your life, you can't be committed to equality for the LGBT community, for women, that you can't care about others, that you're not as moral as someone who is in a church is. And I may be reading too much into that, and that may not have been President Veazey's intent. But that, as an outsider looking in, as a former member, as an atheist, that's how it comes across. Even when he was saying it on Sunday night, and I was watching him Sunday night, that is the impression I had. And that impression has now been reinforced by reading the text of what he said. Now, if I'm wrong, I want to hear it in the comments. You know, I'm a big boy. I can take criticism. I expect criticism. I expect people to disagree with me, because people will disagree with me. That's life. And, you know, like I said, I agree with many of Kennedy Price goals. I just don't agree that it has to be through a religion and through a church that those aims can be achieved. And there are people within Community of Christ that I will always be grateful to, who I owe a huge debt of gratitude for helping me, because I used to be something of a bigot, homophobic, whatever, and these people patiently talk to me and interact with me online, and it is because of those conversations that I am now, I'm more not understanding, more accepting of people who are different than me. And no matter what my differences are with Community of Christ and Christianity in general, those people will still have a place, and figuratively speaking, in my heart, because the heart is a muscle. It pumps blood. My thoughts, emotions, and all that are right up here. But like I said, I just wanted to get some of those initial impressions. You know, I got kind of heated there for a bit, because I'm kind of passionate about my atheism, about my humanism. And I don't think that President Stephen Veazey understands secular humanism. And the source, I'm not familiar with him. But the fact, I don't think he understands what secular humanism is really about. It's not about individuality. And, you know, but like I said, I'll get into more detail and prepare an actual script for my, not rebuttal, well, it might be rebuttal, I don't know, of Stephen Veazey's sermon, because there's a lot of things, well, not a lot, there are some things in his sermon that I want to address directly as an atheist. And although I don't know if I would, quote unquote, term myself a secular humanist, well, I probably am a secular humanist. But anyways, I wanted to do more in depth, but I didn't want to end today without actually posting an episode of my series on the Community of Christ World Conference. Also, it's kind of weird, but there's not as much information about what has been passed, although from what I've seen online, more than likely the words of counsel that he presented 3 years ago and finalized this year is likely to have been confirmed for placement in the Doctrine and Covenants at 165. But like I said, I just wanted to put this out there. If you disagree with me again, leave a comment. If you want to clarify or that kind of thing, because I would like to hear what President Veazey clarify some of what he says. He said in that sermon. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it on social media, and like I said before, comment in the comment section. I want to hear comment. I want comments. Give me comments. Lots of comments. Good, bad, or indifferent. Comment. And subscribe for more. This is Donald the Repentless, signing off.